This is Tar Heel Talk, an in-depth look at the issues and people making news in North Carolina. Here's your host, Sonya Williams.
According to the American Diabetes Association, about 1.25 million Americans have type 1 diabetes, and an estimated 40,000 people will be newly diagnosed each year in the U.S. The Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, or JDRF, is working to change that and to find a cure for type 1 diabetes. And joining me now is Sarah Cunningham, Senior Development Manager with JDRF, and Kesha Dozier, owner of The Chocolate Boutique. The Chocolate Boutique in Lafayette Village is hosting the third annual Wine, Cheese, and Chocolate Festival on Saturday, October 13th from noon until 6 p.m. And a portion of the proceeds will benefit JDRF. And for tickets and to make a donation to the organization, you can go to eventbrite.com. Ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having us.
Absolutely, thank you for having us.
So let's talk a little bit about JDRF before we talk about the event that's coming up that will help benefit this organization. Sarah, tell us a little bit more about JDRF and its mission.
Absolutely. So JDRF was founded a little over 40 years ago by a couple of parents that had children with type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease, so it's not based on lifestyle or exercise, and there is currently no cure. In order to take care of yourself, you have to give insulin through injections, an insulin pump, and now some new insulin products such as inhaled insulin. And we at JDRF are working to help support the families that are diagnosed and also to fund research for a cure and better treatment.
And in contrary to popular belief, you talk about the Junior Diabetes Research Foundation, but this does not just impact children.
That's correct. We actually have adults being diagnosed every day. We've had adults this past week that were 40 years or older diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
Mm-hmm. So it's really important to fund that research and to work to find a cure.
Absolutely. We currently have over 70 human clinical trials that are going on right now, and that's because of the research that we funded through things such as the walk and our gala that we host annually here in the Triangle. And those are actually coming to fruition now. So we have a product that was in clinical trials a couple of years ago that is now in the hands of people living with type 1 diabetes.
Wow. So excellent progress being made. Now, Kesha, the Wine, Cheese, and Chocolate Festival a portion of those proceeds will go towards the JDRF. And tell us a little bit about that event and what we can expect.
Absolutely. Well, it's taking place October 13th at Lafayette Village. Lafayette Village is located off of Falls of the Noose Road, and it's a compilation of a lot of merchants, local merchants. Everyone there is locally owned and operated. Mm-hmm. So people are participating and looking forward to a wonderful festival with three things that a lot of people love, such as wine, cheese, and chocolate. Mm-hmm. So we've got a lot of support from the community, and we're looking forward to partnering with and collaborating with JDRF and other entities so that we can definitely donate and raise money for JDRF.
Now give us some details about the festival and what people can expect.
Sure. So there are going to be a lot of opportunities for people to choose to sample and taste wines, cheeses, and chocolates from all over the area. So we're excited about, this is the third year that the event has taken place. Mm-hmm. So we're excited about the growth that we've seen thus far and just the excitement about it. There are people coming from over 12 states, as far as California and New Jersey. So there's a lot of interest in bringing people to Raleigh, North Carolina and the North Raleigh area. Right. So we're excited.
It's a great opportunity as well for people to learn more about not just local wines and cheeses, and then, your chocolate shop, but just to learn more in general about the three.
Absolutely, and how to pair them and how they work together. And a lot of it is just preference. People will be able to select what they'd like to choose. We're also partnering with Fleming's Steakhouse as well, too. So they are excited to be able to work with us in the VIP lounge and other areas to provide some of those items as far as the cheeses and wonderful samplings that they have as well. So we're excited.
So how can people purchase tickets for this event?
Sure, they can go to Eventbrite. If they go to eventbrite.com, they'll be able to look up the Wine, Cheese, and Chocolate Festival, purchase tickets there. They'll also be able to donate directly to the link for JDRF. So we encourage everyone to do that as well too. In the past, it's just been more of a grassroots, like, throw money in a bucket and let's donate. And you know, that's still an option too, but it's quite easy for people to just be able to do it online at the time of purchase.
But a great way to have some fun and to support a worthy cause.
Absolutely, that's right.
Now, Sarah, talk a little bit about the upcoming walk, because you've had successful walks over the years, and I think we have some photographs of some of the walks that you've had before. But tell us a little bit about this year's walk and how people can participate.
Yes, so this year's walk is on October 27th, and it's at Walnut Creek Amphitheater. And it starts, festivities start at 9 a.m., and there are bounce houses, rock walls, face painting, tattoos, all kinds of fun kids activities. We have some food out there, we've got a DJ, and then we've got a 3-mile walk, and then people come back and celebrate. And the purpose of the walk is to raise awareness and also raise funds for type 1 diabetes research. Last year we raised over $890,000, and this year we've got a goal of $915,000. So people coming out, supporting JDRF really does go a long way to progress that research I was referring to. And also is a great day for the kids and the adults living with type 1 to see that the community is behind them.
Absolutely, a great way to support a worthy cause. How can people get connected and register for the walk?
Absolutely, they can call our JDRF office and ask for me, or they can go online at walk.jdrf.org/triangle.
Okay, so lots of ways to get connected.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Kesha, what can people expect when they come out on October 13th at the Wine, Cheese, and Chocolate Festival, and why is it so important that you partner with JDRF?
Well, Sarah and I have worked together on a couple of other collaborations as well too, with the Chocolate Boutique, with Mankind Corporation as well too. So we've partnered before, and JDRF and helping families with children with diabetes is really important to me personally, having family members with diabetes as well too, type 1 and type 2. So being able to partner, get together, enjoy a wonderful day with wines, cheeses, and chocolates. I mean, what more could you ask for on a fall day? So we're super excited to let people experience the tenets of Lafayette Village, the shops, and have a great time while supporting a great cause.
And when you talk about the events of the day, it's not just wine, cheese, and chocolate, but like you were saying, there are other stores and vendors who will be participating.
That's
and
right.
Really, it can be a family event.
It's absolutely a family event. Anyone can come. You don't have to. If by chance you don't like any of those three, you'll still have a wonderful time.
Who doesn't like wine, cheese, and chocolate?
I agree. I agree, but you'll still have a wonderful time because there are many shops, there's going to be vendors, DJs, bands, entertainment. So there's going to be a lot of things to do throughout the day. We're
And I'm
really
very
excited.
proud to serve as the MC for the event, so that will be fun.
We are
It'll be a
honored
lot
to
of
have
fun.
you. Thank you so
We're
much.
excited
Thank
about
you.
that.
So again, people can register for the event by going to eventbrite.com, and they can
Yes.
also make a donation directly to JDRF
Correct.
by going to that as well.
Correct.
All right. Well, Kesha Dozier with the Chocolate Boutique, thank you so much for being here with
Thank you
us.
for
And Sarah,
having
we're going
us.
to talk more with you a bit later in the show.
Thank you.
Thank you
right.
so much.
Up next, he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at just 18 months old, and today he's 10, and we'll hear all about his journey when Tar Heel Talk continues. Today's show focuses on type 1 diabetes and JDRF's efforts to find a cure for this disease, and no one wants that more than my next guest. Chance Clayton has been diagnosed as type 1 diabetes, and he's also here with his father, Heath Clayton. He was a board member and president of the board of the Triangle Eastern chapter of JDRF. Thank you both so much for being with us.
It's our pleasure to be here. Thanks.
Yeah. Now, Chance was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes as a toddler. So how did you know that there was something going on?
So his daycare teacher was the first that brought up that he was drinking a lot amount of water, copious amounts of water, more so than any other kids. And so at that point, my wife took him to the doctor, and then it went from a normal Wednesday to us on the way down to Big Wake. His blood sugar was off the charts. It was over 500. Your blood sugar, my blood sugar is around 100. And we were in the hospital for about 3 days, learning how to cope with a new chronic disease.
And so from that point, I can imagine your lives changed. And Chance has a twin brother who does not have type 1 diabetes. Is that correct?
That is correct. Tasman is his name. And they do a whole bunch together. They're also kind of polar opposites as well. But yeah, so we, as a normal family would, we had to get over the tears and the anger and the why us. And then the way that my wife Suzanne and I are wired is we wanted to make a difference. And JDRF called us when we were still in the hospital. And the day that we got out of the hospital, the next morning there was a JDRF volunteer, Cindy Maisto, in our kitchen with her 4-year-old son and his insulin pump. And her message was real simple, but we really needed to hear it as parents, which is, you can do this, Chance can still live and follow his dreams, and it's just a lot harder, and it takes a lot more due diligence and thought and planning and things of that nature to keep him safe.
So Chance, what has it been like for you? What's a typical day like for you?
It's hard because I have to do a bunch of finger pricks on my finger, and those hurt. I also have to get poked with needles for my sites that connect my pump to my body every other 3 days.
But you are also able to do some fun things. You can still play with your brother.
Yeah, I can still do any sports. I just need to keep taking breaks to check my blood sugar, and if I'm below 70, then I have to take some juice or something sugary, and if I am above 200, 250, then I should probably bolus and put some insulin in my body so that I start to go lower, down to 100, so that I'm back to a normal blood sugar.
Right. So you've done a lot of research, and I can imagine that your family has done a lot of educating, not only him, but your entire family, about how to support him.
We have. It's it's one of these that takes a village, right? So every year we go in and meet with his school teachers, and we basically kind of train them up. We train up babysitters, nannies, friends, relatives. We bring along everybody, and we've been very fortunate with the support we've gotten from our entire circle of friends and our community at work. Both Suzanne and I work at SAS. They've been very supportive as well. He was at SAS daycare when he was diagnosed. And this will be his 8th walk that is coming up next month. So the first one was pretty hard. It was less than 4 weeks after we were diagnosed, but we got it together, and I think we raised $500 and felt great about it. And over the 8 years, we've built that up with support at SAS as well to raise $30,000 to $35,000 a year for our walk team, and Chance is a big part of that. And those funds have really made a difference in our lives as well. So we wanted to give back and be a part of the effort with JDRF, but we also are beneficiaries. So the device that Chance showed you is the Medtronic 670G, or the common term is it's a closed loop device. Some people refer to it as an artificial pancreas. It's not a cure, but the quality of life that Chance can enjoy has been raised up with that, because not only does he wear a continuous glucose monitor so we can tell what his blood sugar is at any time, but now that monitor communicates with his insulin pump. So if he starts to go low, if his blood sugar starts to drop low, the insulin pump knows to shut off all insulin being given to him to help him not crash, which can be a really dangerous situation. And likewise, if he starts to go high, because he's eaten too many pancakes or waffles or something, then it'll actually start giving him more insulin. So we still have to count carbs. We have to count every carbohydrate that goes through his lips and that he eats. And then we plug that into the pump, and it will give him the right amount of insulin for that. But that's a huge leap forward for Chance and other people. Right. It keeps him safer at night, and also long term it keeps his A1C, which is kind of your average of your blood sugar, in a much more healthy range, similar to what you and I would have. So it's a lot of work, but it's a passion of ours, of our family. Our whole family's involved with it. Suzanne was the co-chair of the JDRF Gala last year, which was really successful. We raised over $1 million in one night.
That's
right here at the
amazing.
Raleigh Civic
That's
Center.
amazing,
It was
yes.
really exciting. And so now we're gearing up for the walk, and we're excited to be a part of that. And Chance made me promise that I'll bring him out to the wine and cheese and chocolate festival, but I think he's
Yes.
most interested in the chocolate.
The chocolate, yeah. Me too, Chance. I think that'll be a fun event. It'll be a lot of fun. Tell us a little bit, Chance, about some of the things that you like to do, and maybe a message that you might have for a child who may be newly diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. What would you say?
That you can still do what you think is fun, and you don't have to stop doing anything. You can keep doing whatever you want as long as you take care of your diabetes.
Absolutely. I think that is excellent advice, and we wish you all the best. I look forward to seeing you at the Wine, Cheese, and Chocolate Festival. Maybe we can enjoy some chocolate together. But I thank you so much for being here and for sharing your family's story, and thank you for sharing your story and being an inspiration for other kids.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Still to come on Tar Heel Talk, how one corporation has raised more than $40 million to support JDRF. We'll hear all about it after these messages. Welcome back to Tar Heel Talk. I'm Sonya Williams. According to the American Diabetes Association, about 1.25 million Americans have type 1 diabetes, and an estimated 40,000 people will be newly diagnosed each year in the U.S. The Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, or JDRF, is working to change that and to find a cure for type 1 diabetes. And joining me now is Sarah Cunningham, Senior Development Manager with JDRF. Also joining us is David McCartney, President of CarQuest North America of Advanced Auto Parts. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you, Sonya, for having us.
Now, CarQuest and Advanced Auto Parts has a very long and rich history of supporting and partnering with JDRF. Tell us a little bit about the partnership.
So, Sonya, first, I want to say that it's an honor to be here on behalf of Advanced Auto Parts. You know, we're extremely proud of the work that our team does each and every day to create the funding to help on this. Our team members, our customers, and our vendor partners all work very diligently to make sure that we are raising funds for this great partnership that we have with JDRF to find a cure for this disease. This organization, JDRF, is actually our signature partner. We've been partnered for over 25 years. And as you said before, we've been able to raise $44 million together as a team to find a cure for diabetes.
That is amazing. It's an amazing feat, and I can imagine that it's a huge help for JDRF to have such an organization like Advanced Auto and CarQuest to partner with and to raise funds.
It absolutely is. From the leadership to the employees in stores and the employees, in the offices, everyone has just gotten really behind this cause. We have families going into stores during this month while they're selling sneakers, and all our families are so excited to take pictures and talk to the employees, tell them that what they're doing really makes a difference in their life. In the 25 years that they have supported us, research has gone a long way. Just a decade ago, we only had 5 human clinical trials, and as I mentioned, today we have 70 human clinical trials.
Wow. And I can imagine that that makes a huge difference in the lives of families who are living with type 1 diabetes, because it's not just the child or the adult who has it, but it's really the entire family, as we heard in the previous segment, who has to get behind this and help support.
It absolutely does. And the support and the progress being made changes absolutely the life of just not the child, but the parents as well. I actually was diagnosed 25 years ago with type 1 diabetes. And then I was giving about 10 to 12 shots a day and pricking my finger anywhere from 10 to 15 times a day. Now I have a continuous glucose monitor and I'm wearing an artificial pancreas. That it's not a cure, but it's much better treatment and it's a lot less maintenance than it used to be.
Right, it certainly can change your quality of life.
It sure does.
And David, talk a little bit about how Advanced Auto helps to raise this. $44 million is a lot of money, and I know you certainly will reach out to the community to help support. Talk a little bit about your sneaker campaign.
Sure, absolutely. Really look at the core of the campaign. It's based on selling the sneakers in the store. I mean, that is the major part of our funding. So in our stores, we have 4,700 stores across the nation. Our team members ask our customers and say, would you like to contribute to JDRF? And when they say yes, which many do, we have increments that they can then buy a sneaker, whether it be $5 up to $50. And what they do is proudly write their names on those sneakers. And when you go to our stores, you can see the sneakers all over the windows. And our team members take great pride in being able to show their support for the communities in which they live. So that's critical for us. Now this year, for the first time, we have CarQuest independently owned stores. There's 1,200 of those. We also added them to the campaign, so we enabled them to contribute. And through both of those efforts, we've been able to, again, have a very successful year. Still have some time left to head down to the stores and support them as well. But the 70,000 team members work so hard, and they're so creative in what they do. And again, the passion for people, the care for people is so evident. And it's really something that we're very proud of. So.
And that's good to know, because a lot of times we go into a store and we see the sneakers up with names on them and don't really make the connection on what it really means and how it's really helping to support the community. So I think it's important that you do that, and that you have an organization like JDRF to kind of explain where this money is going and how it's helping to support families.
Absolutely, and the coverage to be able to do that from Anchorage, Alaska, to Florida, Bahamas, up into Maine, California, Mexico. It's really impressive, the efforts that our team members put forth for this great and worthy cause.
And Sarah, talk a little bit about how this money is used to help support families living with type 1 diabetes.
Absolutely. So this money goes into our research fund, where we have a board as well as scientists that look all across the world at different scientists for research that they can fund. And one of the things JDRF likes to do is to look at research that wouldn't otherwise currently get funding that we believe in. And if we put money in there and we invest in that, then we bring along other companies that want to invest in it. And then once that starts getting funding, we can then go find other research that we believe in and keep the research going. So one of the things we're doing is to try to look at all the different scenarios, from whether it's a cure to its better treatment, to different ideas of what a cure might be.
Right.
And so we're trying to get creative so that we can beat this disease.
Absolutely, and people can find out more information by going to your website, JDRF.org.
Yes.
And David, we have less than a minute left in the program, but why is it so important for corporations like Advanced Auto with such a broad reach to support organizations like JDRF?
Sure. If you look at our mission, really, it's advancing a world in motion. We want to make sure that we are helping and we are advancing things, and the cure is something we're advancing. And when you also look at any organization of what we do, we want to get a return on investment. And return on investment is sitting right beside me. I mean, the advances that they've been able to make, artificial pancreas, all the research that's going on, we're just proud to be able to be a part of that and help other people. That's at the core of what we do in our values.
Absolutely, changing lives, making a difference. insurance. David McCartney, president of CarQuest of North America, and Sarah Cunningham with JDRF. Thank you both for your time and for being our guest today.
Thank you, Sonya.
Well, thanks for having us.
That's it for this week's Tar Heel Talk. To comment on this or other episodes of the show, follow us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, or send an email to tarheeltalk@fox50.com. I'm Sonya Williams. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again next week.